We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie,
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
and he's Grogu, rocking the house as always.
He was waving before you even said his name.
Yep, and
He's
we're
happy.
on the road with Mickey. This is episode 174 for June 19th, 2023, and our feature topic this week is Mike's Walt Disney World fam trip recap.
What
That's
does
all.
fam mean? Because I see
Fam.
it's in all caps.
Fam is short for familiarization. And
Okay.
so it's a familiarization trip to learn more about Walt Disney World and what it has to offer for its guests and travel agents. Um, so that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be kind of giving an update on what I did on my trip, and it's going to be, I think, hopefully educational. And I've got show and tell, so you can
Oh,
never go wrong with show and
nice.
tell.
YouTube watchers, here it comes.
But first, we have some cheddar from the big cheese, and Brenda is starting us off with a very special cheddar.
Well, isn't there one other thing we should be talking about?
There is, but that's for later.
Okay. We'll keep it a secret till later then. Okay.
For those of you who are not already painfully aware based on last year. All right, get on with the cheddar. What you're talking about right now is
Okay.
Parmesan.
Okay, we'll keep them in suspense then. Well, we here at On the Road with Mickey would like to take a moment to salute Dorothy Pat Rudd, who was honored as the Veteran of the Day at Magic Kingdom during the flag retreat on June 7th. At 101 years old, Pat is a World War II veteran for the U.S. Navy and to this day can still be found volunteering at local VA hospitals in Central Florida. You rock, Dorothy Pat Rudd.
Wow.
And not only that, her husband was a cast member, and he worked on the log cabins
Oh my
at
gosh.
Frontierland when they were building the park. And those log cabins, like for Country Bear and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that he worked on way back in 1971.
Fantastic.
So that's American made, people.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was cool. I
That
saw that
that
and I
is
was like,
super
wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, then my turn next. Not nearly as important, but still really awesome, and I'm really excited for it. We have a release date for Star Wars Ahsoka. That is the new Star Wars spin-off series coming to Disney Plus, and it will be debuting on August 23rd. I'm so happy! I've been waiting for this since like season 1 of The Mandalorian. I've been waiting for this.
I'm glad it's
Yes.
coming.
Yes, you have, haven't you, Sophie?
Yes.
Well, sorry to be Mikey Downer, but we do have some sad news from earlier in the month that Dugan, one of the white rhinos at Animal Kingdom Park, passed away on June 1st. He was born in 1995, so he was somewhere around 28 years old. Um, and he is survived by his offspring, Ranger, Milo, and Logan. And we have seen Logan at least. I think we've seen them all mentioned, but we specifically heard talk about Logan on the Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom show on Disney Plus. And so that's sad, and I feel bad, especially for the Animal Kingdom caretakers who looked after him, because
Yeah.
it's they really become almost like family. They're not just
Mhm.
animals that you're helping. It's they do get a connection. So
Yeah.
I feel really sad for them.
Yeah.
So,
And you know
but
what's
he will live on
even
in his kids.
sadder? Yeah. And you know what's even sadder? White rhinos, they're generally supposed to live somewhere to 40 to 50 years. So I don't think this was expected.
I didn't
May
know
not have
that.
been.
I didn't know
Hmm.
that.
Rest in peace, Dugan. Rest
Yeah.
in peace.
Yep. Well, moving on. It is time for our feature topic, and I am going to be talking about the trip I took last week. It
So it's an
was
easy episode for us, Aunt Brenda.
Yeah,
yes, it
but I'm
is.
really excited to hear about everything because I haven't heard
Yeah.
about anything.
Neither.
Mhm.
I really.
But before we get started on that, we do have from our previous episode, and I'm sorry that we weren't able to record this last week. We just life and work and everything like that just gets in the way sometimes, and that's what happened here. Um, but so our previous episode was on our favorite quick service restaurants at the resorts, if you remember, ladies. And we did get a couple of responses. Sheila listed her favorite. She said, Value Resort. I have never stayed at a value, but she visited us and had breakfast at Pop once, and the waffle bounty platter is great. For the moderate, she really likes the Centertown Market at Caribbean Beach. Um, and she said the avocado toast is amazing. Sheila, you can have all the avocado toast you want for me because I am not that big of a fan of avocados.
You can have it from me
Yeah.
too because I can't have avocado.
And
And
then
for me.
there you go. And for the deluxe, she said this one is hard because there are a lot of great choices, but she has to go with the Riviera's Primo Piatto. See, she has great taste, just like Sophie and I.
Yep.
They have the best croque madame, and I like to dip mine in berry jam. I only listed breakfast because when I do stay at a resort, that is when I eat quick service.
Yeah.
Very
And
good.
then my sister Robin said, I've got to say, breakfast at Riverside is my favorite, hands down. Was that what you were looking for? Well, sorta.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yep.
And then she added that side dish of delicious granddaughters was the icing on her Mickey waffle. And
Amen.
that leads me to my first show and tell.
Nice.
And
Because
just to clarify, she's not a witch like from Hansel and Gretel. She did not eat my sweet baby cousins. I
she
promise.
didn't. She didn't. But she did
Oh,
share a
my
picture of
goodness.
Sophie's sweet baby cousins.
Yeah.
Sweet.
They were
And
so cute.
Are
that was
precious.
so cool. That was such a memory. Oh my gosh, that was such a good memory.
Precious. What a great surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first of my show and tell. So, moving on to the actual feature topic. So, I don't know exactly how to do this perfectly, but um, I guess I'll just give a little recap and Brenda and Sophie interject with questions whenever you want. Is that
Yeah,
what you were thinking?
That
it's
sounds good
great.
to me.
Want to hear how the train ride went all the way to everything else and the train ride back?
Okay. So, um, so the fam trip was June 5th through 8th. Okay.
Hmm.
So it was Monday through a Thursday. And for the train ride, I took the Amtrak out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and I took it to Kissimmee Station in Florida. And that left on Sunday night, the 4th, and it was overnight till almost lunchtime, 11 o'clock, when it arrived in Kissimmee. Going down, I did not have a roomette. I only had a coach seat. And what I learned is that when you take the train, and you have a coach seat, you're further up, so you're closer to the locomotives. And as a result, every time you hit a crossing, a road crossing, the horn goes off. And it sounded like the horn went off all night long.
No. So you did not arrive well rested on, you arrived on the 5th?
I arrived on the 5th
So you had to
around
hit the
11
ground
a.m.
running.
and I got there and I felt like I had slept maybe 3 hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
it
In
was
the heat.
it was a learning experience to say the least. Um,
Oh,
but it wasn't bad. The cost for that coach seat was $62.
yeah, that can't be beat.
So that was a good price. Um, Also, had I had eaten beforehand, so all I got was I went in the morning, went to the dining car and just bought some grab and go stuff, like coffee cake and you know, um a thing of orange juice and stuff like that. So nothing super big on that. But I did learn a lesson about that it is a little bit harder to sleep when you're just in a seat. Um,
For sure. Goodness
well,
gracious.
but
Well, you'll know next time because I think you chose that to see the difference because you had the other kind last time.
yeah,
Yeah.
So at least you know now, and that's a great important thing.
exactly. So, so I got there around 11 o'clock. I had my transportation already lined up, and I used private transportation. And it was a friend of Sheila's that she recommended, and he was really good. His name is Brian, and it's like almost like an Uber, but it's private Uber, and so he got me to Coronado. I was staying in the Grand Destino Tower with a water view
Nice.
room. And it was the first time I had been even in the building for the Grand
Wow.
Destino Tower. I mean, I had seen it from outside and obviously seen it from the past, and I was there when they were building it, but it was the first time I had actually gone in. And we were on the fourth floor. It was me and my buddy Lee. Hey, Lee. He's not on right now, so he
Hey,
can't say
Lee.
hi back. But Lee is a great guy. He is a newer pixie, and he was super excited, and we had a great time just getting to know one another and learning more about who we are and everything like that, and what we do outside of Pixie and stuff like that. So it was really really neat to get to know him. Um, and he was already there. His flight, he lives in Dallas area, Brenda,
Awesome.
and his flight came in around 10, so he had already there. We were in room 410, and I think I'll start by sharing some room photos our um of our room. So
I love those rooms. They're very clean and white and crisp, and
yeah,
I like that.
so I'll start there. So we were in room 410, and 410 is a water view room. So let's go to here. Start sharing. Okay, are you seeing the bathroom there?
Yes.
So walk-in shower, no bathtub, 2 sinks. This is the first picture. Separate closed off spot for the toilet. So that was nice.
Mhm.
And then here's some other room. So nice workspace. Refrigerator is right in here, and some cabinets for storage. Over to the right here, where you don't see, is closet for normal hanging up jackets and so forth. And then here's a little bit of a wider shot. So if you're not seeing them, let me know. And then the 2 queen beds, tall enough storage so that your storage can go underneath the beds, so your suitcases can go underneath.
I love that because I have those huge hard cases, those big silver ones, and they fit under there, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Really neat features like right here. Do you see my cursor? Right in here, these are little reading lights. There's one on each
Yeah.
side of the bed. I like this touch of the backboard or the headboard. It's kind of neat how it does that. Beds were super comfortable, just like you would expect.
Yeah.
And then the last three pictures I have are of our view. So that's from our window. So looking out, the dig site is right over here, or the big dig. What's it called, Brenda? Big dig or dig site?
I think it's the dig site.
Yeah, and that's the
SITE,
main
yeah.
pool with the water
Yeah.
slide and everything like that. Restaurants over there, walking trails, walking paths all the way around the resort.
That is one of the best resorts to
Oh yeah,
walk around. I mean, there's just so much space, and it's just
Yeah.
really pretty.
it is super pretty. And then over here, this is the right hand side. You can get an idea of the tower. The Grand Destino Tower has 16 floors, and at the very top is a restaurant. So we weren't very high up, only on the fourth floor, but it is absolutely fabulous design, and
Yeah.
it feels like a deluxe without a deluxe price. It's really what it feels like.
That's true.
I'm going to show you a few pictures I have of the lobby. This is that's a workspace area where you can just sit and work on your computer or sit and wait for your Uber or for your bus transport or whatever. I love the coloring,
Yeah. They have
it's
great
just
lighting down
the
there.
lighting is incredible
Yeah.
down there. Here's another shot of it from just a slightly different angle. Just really neat stuff. And then lounge seating while you're waiting is just, there's a ton of it, and it never seemed to be all the way, very full with people.
And those
So
floor to ceiling windows, you can see out on everything while you're
yeah,
sitting there.
yeah. And so Grand Destino has two lobby areas. This is the main lobby, and then they have a lower lobby, which also has a lounge seating area, and they have a bar called the Barcelona Lounge. And so this picture is from the main lobby looking down, and you see the stairs on the right. But it is,
It's beautiful.
it is absolutely incredible, Sophie. It is.
It really is beautiful.
It is absolutely incredible.
Wow.
And then the last few shots I'm going to share for right now are of the bar area. Just look at the coloring, and at night when it's a little bit more subdued, these all light up, and it's just like a glow. It's just really cool. That's the Barcelona Lounge, and
It looks awesome.
it's
It
just
is really pretty.
it is super pretty. So, and then after that, so I got to meet Lee, and we decided let's go to Disney Springs, and we went to Disney Springs, and I ate at a burger place called Deluxe Burger, and I had the absolute best bacon cheeseburger I've ever had on Disney property.
Goodness, that's saying a lot.
It was so good. It's 2 patties, lettuce, tomato, ketchup is all I had on it, and it came with bacon, and it was so good, and it was filling. It's big enough that I didn't get any sides to go with. I just got a drink, and that was all I needed.
Good choice.
But Deluxe Burger, so it's at Disney Springs where guest services are. It's right behind it. So it's almost right in that area, just a matter of feet from where guest services is at Disney Springs. And it's just a really, really good burger and a good place, and it's quick service. So if you just want to get a burger, go over there and you won't be disappointed. Won't be disappointed at all.
Looks
So,
good.
So it was a really good lunch. That was lunch. And then after that, Lee went on to go to the Port Orleans resorts because he wanted to take some footage. And I was starting to feel the lack of sleep. So I went back to the resort and I went to just kind of chill at the resort for a little bit. And I put my head down, and 3.5 hours later, it was time for dinner, and I was much more refreshed.
You needed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that night, I don't have a picture of it, but that night I ate at El Mercado de Coronado, which is quick service, where they have the different stations. And I had the chicken bowl, and it had rice, like lime cilantro rice, beans, chicken, obviously, pico de gallo. It would have come with pickled onions, but I didn't want pickled onions, so I held that out. And it was really good, and it was $16, which is a little pricey, but it was huge, and I could not eat the whole thing. Could not eat the whole
So
thing.
you got your money's worth.
Yeah, and I also bought a cup, a resort refillable cup, and
Nice.
and I use that on the trip all the time. So I got my money out of that too.
Good thing.
So the one I got was the purple Disney 100. So there's a souvenir at the house that Sophie will probably use.
Unlikely. I have my own cups. I need to use my orange bird sippers.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was the first day and night. So Monday was more or less free time. After dinner, I did walk around Coronado, and I took a lot of video of the walking paths and whatnot just to get some video, and I used my gimbal for that. So I have some videos that we'll be using in our social media and stuff like that. So
Good.
all
Very
right.
good.
So that was day one. The fam in earnest really began on Tuesday. We all met first on Tuesday, I met up with some of my fellow Pixies for breakfast at Kona Cafe. I wasn't going to do breakfast at Kona, but I decided, I saw the schedule and I saw that lunch wasn't till like 2:30. And I thought I need to get some more food in me than I would by getting something quick at quick service. So I decided to meet them, and I had the cinnamon French toast.
Ooh.
And it was really good, and it was super sweet.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it was.
Did anybody have my Tonga toast?
Oh yeah, 2 of them had Tonga toast.
All right.
3.
Team Tonga toast.
It was a lot. Obviously, there was a lot to that.
That cinnamon French toast sounds yummy too, though.
It was yummy, and I can find a picture if you would like to see a picture of it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Here it is.
That's the thing about travel agents. We always take pictures of our food.
Yeah. So let's see here. Here it is.
I mean, how can you not take a picture of something as beautiful as that?
It was really good.
Is that caramel sauce?
It's a caramel banana sauce.
Goodness.
Ooh.
I could not eat it all. I ate about 3 of the 4 pieces, and I ate all the bacon, and I drank all my orange juice.
Nice.
It was super sweet, and I ended up really enjoying it, but it kind of did a number on me, and it did a number on me not because the food was bad, but because of a medication I'm on, that the sugar was so much on this meal that it kind of worked on me a little harshly. So I'm not going to go into more detail than that, but it was a little bit much. One of the other agents, Taylor, they had a special, was the cinnamon bun pancakes.
That looks great too.
And he told her, you will not need syrup because of the cinnamon bun icing is super sweet, and she really enjoyed it.
It looks great.
And
I
then
want to eat all of this. You're making me hungry.
and then there's Brenda's Tonga toast. I think three of
Oh.
them had it, or two of them. Um, and it's just a big old brick of bread and deliciousness.
Banana, yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Mm.
my jam. And one of them, instead of getting the meat, she wanted to have potatoes instead. So they substituted the potatoes for her.
Mm, I
So
get that meat. I have to have the meat after the sweet.
yeah,
I have to have that bite of bacon. Yeah, I
and
save some for the very end.
then there we are. So
Oh, nice. There's Debbie.
Debbie, and this is Katie, and Christy, and that's Taylor, and that's me standing up because I didn't slouch down like I should have.
Daddy, your hair is a mess.
My hair is a mess.
Oh
okay.
no, don't show mommy that picture. She's gonna be all over you.
She's already seen it, so there you go.
Oh goodness.
You can't take me anywhere, honey.
Especially can't let you go alone next time. Take us with you.
Well,
Mm,
we'll be doing that end of July.
yes.
Yeah,
That's a future episode too.
that is a future episode.
So after we finished breakfast, we shared an Uber because we went from the Polynesian to the beach club, and we were looking at our options. We're like, what's the best way to go from resort to resort? And we basically had two options: take Disney bus transportation, which would take us from one resort to a park and then hit another bus back to another resort
Mhm.
and waste an hour, or take an Uber. And we learned really quickly that for our guests, if you're going from resort to resort, the predominant way you're going to get there the fastest and the easiest and the less headache is to take private transportation, Uber or something like that. And
Uber or
that's
Lyft.
yeah. And that's what we did. We also learned that you can order the minivans, and on this trip, for example, we took Uber, and it was about $19 divided by 5 agents, so about $4 a person, to split that. But if we had done minivan, it would have been like $40.
Yeah.
So if you want to ride in the special,
Little
nice
red polka
looking
dot
Mickey
van.
Mouse
Yeah.
polka dot vans, just expect to pay for the polka dot van, okay?
No, thank you.
So we went over to the beach club,
Right
and that's
this.
where we are all gathering. Yeah, I like that too. And that's where we all gathered, and in the process of doing that, we started looking. On Tuesday, we were looking at a lot of different resorts. We split up. There were 38 agents on this trip, Brenda.
That's fabulous.
It was so cool. And a lot of them were newer agents, had never done anything like this. So it was really cool for the veterans to kind of shepherd a little bit, almost like mentoring a little bit.
Yeah.
The people that didn't know what to expect and everything like that. It was kind of neat to be able to say, hey, you got questions? That's what we're here for,
Yeah.
We went we looked at rooms at the beach club, at the Boardwalk Inn, at the Riviera Resort. Some of them went to Caribbean Beach and looked at a room at the Caribbean Beach. We looked at a treehouse villa at Saratoga Springs. That was really cool. some of them went to looking at the grounds at Pop and Art of Animation. I did not do that because I did not see the need to look at that because I had already seen all that.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
you've stayed at Pop a number of
we stayed
times.
at
So.
Pop enough that I didn't need to see
Mhm.
the grounds.
Mhm.
You probably know Pop like the back of our hand.
Mhm.
A little bit. And then we also went to Port Orleans resorts, um, to Riverside. And I did not see a room there because they were going to show a royal princess, a royal room, and we stayed in a royal room in December, so I didn't need to see the room. But it was nice to hang out in the lobby a little bit and just kind of chat with the agents while we were waiting for people to catch up because we were kind of scattered through the wind, you know. There's so many, and it kind of splintered into different groups looking at different things, and so we were kind of just kind of gathering back together and all that. So so there was a lot of long days. These trips are not just social hour.
That's
It's
right. Their
not
work.
it's not about going to the parks and riding 30 rides in a
Mhm.
day. It's about looking at different resorts, looking at rooms in different resorts so you can help your clients decide what's best for their trip. And I mean, I woke up on Tuesday at like 6:30 and probably didn't go to bed till 11 o'clock. Um, so they are full days.
That's
Um,
true.
for lunch, we went to Disney Springs and we went to Earl Sandwich, and I had the ham and Swiss, which normally comes with mustard, and I got it instead with mayo, and it was just meat and cheese and mayo. I didn't get any lettuce or tomato on it. And that sandwich is served hot and it is huge. And I could only eat half of it. And it would be the perfect sandwich for Cindy and I to split because we would
Oh,
have each
sweet.
had the perfect amount. Um, and I
I'd
I
like
get
to
ate,
the
go to
turkey and
Earl of
dressing one with
Sandwich.
the cranberry. Oh my God, I love that turkey and dressing one. It's the only place you can get it. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if other places there have it, but there's
Hmm.
nowhere around here that has that. So that's my
It,
favorite little sandwich.
yeah.
hmm.
Sophie would like
It
that.
sounds really yummy. I
It is
want to go
so
to Earl
good.
of Sandwich.
We need to go
Very
back to
good.
Earl of Sandwich. We went when we first started going to Disney. We went to Earl of Sandwich once, just because of our time before we were leaving to go back home or something. And I don't think we've been back as a family since. I went once with Steve and Lisa on another trip. We were ate there,
Mhm.
but other than that, I think it's only the third time I've ever been to Earl of Sandwich. So it's a good quick service option. That sandwich and the drink, the sandwich was like $8.99. And I'm telling you, that thing was huge and loaded with meat, loaded with cheese, and and so I think I paid with the drink like $13, which is pretty good for a Disney lunch. And
Yeah.
like I said, if Cindy and I split that, then it's even better economics, you know?
Mhm.
So it's a really good location for a good meal and quick meal and just a relaxing time, get to sit and get off your feet a little bit and all that. So Earl of Sandwich, overlooked, I think, in many ways. Um, and then Tuesday night after that, so like I said, the sugar kind of did a number on me, and I was worn out, so I did not go to the Magic Kingdom. I was going to go to the Magic Kingdom that night, and get some footage, and I did not. I was also going to go to Whispering Canyon Cafe, and I had a reservation, so I kept that. And we all met at Whispering Canyon, and there were 7 of us that ended up eating there. 6 that ate, and then Lisa joined us just to chat and go over what we had seen that day. Um, So there were 7 of us, and it was a good meal. I did not eat a whole lot. I had the nachos, which I hadn't had the nachos before at Whispering Canyon, and they were really good. They had like braised beef with them, and cheese sauce and stuff like that, pico de gallo and things like that. So it was pretty good. I would get that again, and it's an appetizer, so it wasn't a whole lot to on the expense side either.
Yeah,
Um,
that's good.
and I had lemonade with that, and the lemonade was really good too. So, um, one person had one of the skillets, and the rest had other things like salads and stuff like that. There's a lot of variety at Whispering Canyon,
Hmm.
so so it was
Did
good.
you have a sassy cast member, or did you not have a sassy cast member?
We had um, Jenny was our cast member. She was somewhat sassy, not super over the top sassy. It was funny though because when we got seated, the original reservation was for 8, and one of them said, "I can't make it. I'm going to be doing this instead." And we're like, "Okay." So that brought us to 7, and then Lisa was having dinner with some of the Disney executives who wanted to take her to dinner. And so she said, "I'm not going to be there in time to when the reservation starts. So just hold a seat for me, but don't." And they were confused on how to do that. And I'm like, "Just leave the table and leave a spot there." Well, and it'll be okay. It'll be okay. But the people dining ended up being 6, and but they had left silverware just in case Lisa got there and wanted to eat. And then Jenny comes over, and she was our server, and she said, "There's only 6 of you, but there's 7 out here. What's going on?" And we told her what was going on with Lisa, and she was at the California Grill and ate there and enjoyed what she ate. um, and she said, "Well, you know what? Even if she comes, she's not eating." And she took her silverware and her napkin away. She's like, "She's not allowed, but I'm glad she's not here because now I can sit and take your order." So she sat in
That's
her
funny.
seat.
That's
Oh
funny.
my gosh.
Well, she had a place to sit. That's good. She probably needed it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was funny. And she was funny. We had a good time. And
Oh,
and I had my pixie name badge on. So
nice.
she saw me. She said, "Mike Ellis, we're starting with you. What are you gonna have, Mike Ellis?" And she kept calling me Mike Ellis all night long
That's
because my
cute.
name badge said Mike Ellis.
So she was a
Oh,
little bit sassy.
Yeah,
Did she throw your straws at you?
yeah. She threw him down. She threw him down. um, so it was sassy, but it wasn't super sassy.
Yeah.
None of us asked for ketchup. I didn't get a 32-ounce,
Yeah.
drink. You know, it was all good though. But it was funny. But what was funny was, 2 of the pixies that were eating with us, they are from the Greenville, South Carolina area,
hmm.
and um, one of the other servers who wasn't at our table was from Greenville,
Okay.
and they asked. He's like, "I heard there's some people from Greenville here," and they're like, "Yeah," and they start talking, and the girl went to high school at this near the same school where he went to school, graduated around the same time. It was
Funny.
really funny.
Small
and
world.
and she said, "Do you know so and so?" He said what his name was. They asked what his last name was. He told them, and she said, "Do you know so and so?" And he's like, "Oh my gosh, that's my older brother." And
Oh my gosh, that's
she knew
funny.
him not in person, but she knew him because she listens to his podcast. And I don't remember his name or anything like that or the name of the podcast, but it was funny because it was like small world.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, don't tell him, Don't tell him you listen to his head is big enough as it is.
Oh no.
It was funny.
Unlike ours.
Yeah, ours heads aren't big. No. So anyway, that was the end of Tuesday. And then on
Sounds like a great
Wednesday
day though.
was a good day. It was a productive day, and we saw a lot and we did a lot and we worked a lot because really all my time was spent outside of the parks. Um, Wednesday, woke up, went to by Uber because we went to the Contemporary, and it was just easier to Uber over to Contemporary. And we ate optional. We ate at Contempo Cafe, and that's where I ate. And I had, let me pull it up. There's the picture. Let me share my picture. I had this gem. Start sharing. Do you see that beautiful Mickey waffle?
Yeah.
Wow.
That waffle, and I had it with bacon, obviously, as you can tell. That waffle was huge. It was a big, full-size Mickey head. It wasn't the little ones that you get, Sophie, with the, where you get the 3 little ones. It was one big one, and I ate it straight up, no syrup, no butter, and just ate the waffle. Like, I pulled it apart, and it was so good. In fact, you could see here, right here, I had ripped his ear off and realized I hadn't taken a picture. So you could see where I had ripped out his ear. And so I put it back together as best I could to take the picture.
I couldn't have even told that if you hadn't said that. So that's great. I usually eat half my food and think, oh darn it, I forgot to take a picture.
But that waffle, that was a good breakfast. I mean, that was like, I think $10.99 for the waffle and the bacon.
And I bet your body thanked you for not having the syrup.
Yeah, it absolutely did, because it was just really good. It was sweet without being super sweet, and it was just fresh. It was just really good. So that was really neat. And after that, we went to the convention center, which I had never been in the convention center at the Contemporary Resort. I'd seen it, obviously, and to me, what's interesting about it is when you look at it from outside, like on the monorail, whatever, it doesn't look that big. But once you get in there, that thing is honking huge. I mean, it's like it keeps going and going and going and going. And we were in the Sorcerer Apprentice room, number 1. And
was it just y'all?
It was just us. And for this morning, Wednesday morning, we had presentations from Disney. We had Dan was the overall running the meeting, but we had Hunter, who works for Adventures by Disney, and also Nat Geo Expedition, National Geographic Expeditions, which is now part of Disney when they acquired National Geographic as part of the 21st Century Fox deal. So they have both Adventures by Disney trips as well as National Geographic Expeditions trips. And it's really kind of neat. It was neat to hear about both sides of it. And they're separate sides to the side. So they have different products. Like National Geographic, you're more likely to go and see, like, go on a savannah in Africa versus going to look at castles, with Adventures by Disney.
Yeah.
So, but they're a similar thought, similar kind of vein, just different destinations. And it was a really neat way to learn more about those products. And then we had Allison, who gave us talk about Disney Cruise Line, and we learned that next year, I think it is 2024, is when I believe when the sixth Disney Cruise Line ship is going to be launching, and that is, I think, the Disney Treasure.
Nice.
And so we learned a little bit. They don't have much in the way of photos. Everything is artist renderings, but it was really neat to hear about it. And that was our morning presentations. So at the end of that, 11:45, we were having a special guest. And at 11:30, I said, I need to take a quick bathroom break. And I did. And I walked back and I opened the door at 11:40. And right as they announced, they said, as I opened the door, and they said, and here is our special guest. And I walked in the door, and everyone turned around and yelled, Mike Ellis. And I said, here I am.
Hilarious.
Oh,
It was absolutely, you couldn't have planned it
That's
any
hilarious.
better. It was hysterical. And really, the special guest that was like, it was like two special guests. The first special guest was Jody, who is part of the regional sales team. And so I walked in, I did my number, and then I walked over and I sat down. I was sitting in the very front table, and she came up to speak for a moment, and she said, first, I need to say hi to our special guest. And she came over and said, what's your name? And I said, Mike Ellis. And she shook my hand.
That's hilarious.
And then she talked for a few minutes, and that's when the real special guest came. And the real special guest, you can probably guess who it is, was that guy.
Best guy ever.
And
Y'all really coordinate.
we did. I had no idea we were coordinating, but it was really cool. And he took pictures with every single one of us, and it was really neat. And he was like, he came in, and when I got up there, he was pointing at me like, you're the special guest. It was so funny. It was so funny. And then they did a big group pixie shot, which I don't have on my computer, but it was really neat. It was a lot of fun. It was perfect. So that was cool. I had never had that kind of a moment like that with Mickey. So that was kind of neat.
Sweet.
So that I get all my pictures. Let me see here. I think I shared all the pictures I have. No, I didn't. I have one more for later. So that took us to lunch, and I know I'm talking forever, but
well, you're supposed to be talking forever, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay. But lunch, they took us over by motor coach to Grand Floridian, and they had a catered lunch at Citricos, which Citricos is not open for lunch. So they did their own meal, and it was like some fish and some beef and various sides to go with it, and rolls and stuff like that, and really nice whipped butter with cheese in it and stuff like that. So it was good. I was still feeling the effects of that sugar, so I did not eat nearly as much, and I'm not a good judge of what food would have been really good because none of it was appealing at that moment. You know what I mean? So, but it was well done, and it was a nice spread, and I didn't even eat any dessert. They had little sweets and stuff like that. And then after that, we went and did some resort reviews or resort site visits. So we went to, first we did one of the rooms at the Grand Floridian. Then they took us by bus to the Grand Destino Tower, which I had already seen. I'm staying in one, so I did not need to see that room. But I did take the opportunity to drop off some of the stuff they had given us, so I didn't have to lug it around all day.
Oh, good
And
for you.
and then they took us back to the Poly, and we saw one of the refurbished rooms in the Poly. And then from there, they took us back to the Contemporary, and that was the end of our bus transportation. And we saw the Incredibles room at the Contemporary. So that was kind of neat. And if you want to see a picture of that, I can show you a couple. I don't have any really good ones, but I have some. So there we go. I like the touches they do. So let me show that. Um, let's see here. There we go. I'll show a couple different pictures here. I
Edna.
like Edna mode on the pillow, right?
I
Yeah.
like Edna
That's-
Mode's
that's
pillow
neat.
too.
I think that's neat. And then the what is it? The
Frozone.
Ozone. Thank you. And of course the Mickey.
Mhm.
Of
And you
course.
see the same night lights there. Um, let's see here. And then nice seating there. And
It's
you can
got the
see their
hero
mask.
masks.
Yeah. And you see it here with the nice Incredibles. And then there's a closet, which I don't. Oh, here it is. It's got some pixies in it also. But you see how they have their uniforms hanging up in the closet.
Cute.
Wow.
So I
Everybody's
just thought
phones
it
are
was
out.
neat.
That's what
Yeah,
happens. It's
that's
hard
what
to get
happened.
pictures without somebody's phones or somebody in it when you're on a fam.
Yeah.
Yep. But
Um,
that's okay.
but on Tuesday, one thing that was kind of neat was on Tuesday, um, when we were doing the resorts, I had my gimbal and Lisa and Katie. Katie does social media stuff. They suggested that I go in first and do the videos before anyone else went in there, so that I could show the room without having a whole bunch of people.
Nice.
And so I had done that, and then I shared all that with the pixies that were there. So that made it helpful for everyone.
Yeah.
Um, so that was the Contemporary room, but they were really nice rooms. They nice. Um, the balcony on at the Grand Floridian was really cool, where the room was and everything like that. It was just really neat. So really well done rooms. Um, I felt like it was kind of interesting to me because the room at the Polynesian was bright and everything like that, and it had just been it had been redone recently, so you could see that it had been redone. But the hallway was kind of dim, and it
The
felt
way it always was.
like it always is. Yeah, and I get it. It's 1971. It's like if you were in the Polynesian area, that's kind of what you would expect it to feel like. But it felt like a difference in two different styles.
Right. Yeah. Doesn't
So,
mesh anymore.
mhm.
So did you go to the park?
Yes, on after we finished with our site visits, we had some free time, and then that night we met at Hollywood Studios, and we met at Pizza Rizzo, which they had closed. We were supposed to meet over by the Joffrey's Coffee at the exit to Tower Terror, but it started pouring at one point, and
Goodness.
so they kind of changed on the fly. We met at Pizza Rizzo, and they had brought meal in for that, um, and it wasn't bad. That's when um, everyone was kind of just gathered around. I was sitting off by myself because I just wanted to kind of take it all in. I like to people watch when I'm doing a lot of stuff too, and And that's when I got to sit with the regional sales manager, James, who is our BDM's boss, and got to talk with him a lot and got to get a little bit, get to know him some, and he got to know me some, and I told him about our podcast, and he actually took time afterwards and listened to some of our episodes. So that was kind of cool. So thank you, James. Have a great
Thank
day.
you, James.
Hopefully you're
Thank you.
listening. And
Yay.
but we had a really good conversation. It was just, it was just a chance to get to know people outside of just through Disney. So it was really neat. And then after that, we had special seating for Phantasmic. And we
Nice.
walked from all the way to Muppets all the way up to Phantasmic. Like,
Yeah.
that
Oh.
that marathon walk, 26.2 miles. That's what it
Yeah.
felt like.
Just
Oh,
just getting
goodness.
up to the show from the entrance is a jaunt.
Yeah. But it was really neat. And we had it was we had so in Phantasmic, for those that haven't seen it, you have the seating in the auditorium. Okay. And you have a walkway where people walk, come and going. And then the stage is up front. And they also had like a special platform in between where the seating is and the walkway. And then beyond that, they had special seating where they put out chairs for VIP groups. And that's kind of where we sat for the show. So we weren't in the seating down below, we were back a bit. And we had really good views of the show. So it was really, really good. I mean, it's
I
the
love
first
that
time
show.
I had ever seen Phantasmic at Walt Disney World, and I need to get Sophie and Cindy to see it
Yes,
It's
because
great.
please.
it's worth seeing,
Yeah.
and it was really good.
And the
Um,
dragon was working, right?
yeah,
Good.
It's
yeah,
really a good show.
it's a good show, and I enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing it again. Um, So that was on Wednesday night. And then afterwards, park was closed. But they were doing an after hours um, event at Hollywood Studios. And so I had bought a ticket to do that. And that was what I did. I stayed for the after hours. You do have to go back to the front and they have to scan your ticket and give you a wristband and then you go back into the park. So it's like you leave and come right back in. But I did that and it was fun. It was nice. I did not stay very long. I did not get my value as far as the cost versus how long I stayed, but I did what I wanted to do. Um I rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and I enjoyed it and I walked on in 5 minutes, Sophie.
Wow.
And I would have done that for any other rides that I wanted to. They
Yeah.
had a sign up that someone took a picture of the sign for the Tower of Terror, and the wait time was 13 minutes.
Ah,
The Tower of
nice.
Terror, which
Wow.
is,
Oh,
very
Yeah, that's
appropriate and kind of
nice.
cool. And I imagine it was probably less than that. It probably was set to 13 because of the floor and everything. I had it being a Tower of Terror and everything like
No,
that.
when they set it to 13, that means no wait. That's
Yeah.
the cue.
Okay. Um, so it was
Nice.
walk right on, walk right on.
Dang it.
I wanted to be there. Oh,
Um,
I'm upset with you.
and then I said, I want to get something and eat something. And I had a Mickey premium ice cream bar, had it for mommy, took a picture, texted it to her.
Did you
And
have any popcorn or Diet Coke during any of this
I
stuff?
did not, because the
Wow.
lines for popcorn were longer than the line for the ice cream. So I didn't feel
Because they
like,
were
wait,
after the buckets.
You're right.
maybe,
You're right.
maybe. But and also I just didn't do it. I I felt like having the one treat was good um because of what I had been going through with the sugar, and I
Yeah.
wanted to see how I was doing. I felt good enough by that point that it would be okay, and it was. Um, and then I ran into this person. So let me share my screen for my last picture.
And
Oh,
doesn't she look stunning?
Doesn't she though?
People, this is why you need to watch our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
yes.
She looks fabulous there. And
Fabulous.
they were not letting people take pictures. She was just walking the park. They weren't letting people take pictures with her with them.
With
You
Right.
know,
her.
just
Yes,
take pictures
very
of her,
different.
but not do like your own, pictures with them.
Yeah,
So
no selfies.
right, I tried to, and some people got it in anyway, but I did not. So there you go. But I love that picture.
Precious.
It's a
Very
great picture.
cute.
And Donald was nearby too. And I
Cute.
did
And
not
for
get a
those who are not aware, because they're not watching the YouTube channel, this is Daisy.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We're looking at Daisy Duck. Um, but it was a lot of fun. It
And that
was
was the day
great picture.
before Walt's birthday.
Yeah, that was on
Was that the
Wednesday.
8th?
No, that was the 7th.
Oh,
That was the 7th. So, but that
she's all
was
dressed up.
that was really cool. And then I just sat and I enjoyed the music of Hollywood Studios and just kind of chilled and watched people doing their thing, and I did everything I wanted to do. I rode a ride, I ate a snack, I got a picture, I sat and took on the environment, and it
Yeah.
was it was really neat. It wasn't very busy. When I left, I went to the bus stop for Coronado. I wasn't there but an hour total. So I did not, like I said, I did not get my value of the cost of my ticket, but I got the value in other ways. And when I
How
got
long was the
to
wait for the bus?
that's what I was just about to say. When I got there, there was a bus for Coronado waiting,
Nice.
and I got on and I said hi. His name was John. He used to be a cast member, got into the real world, came back when he retired, and has been a bus driver for a year and a half. And hey, John, hope you're doing well.
Mhm.
And in the end, I got a private limo bus ride for one back to the resort because no one else came.
Yeah.
And he said, "What stop you need?" I said, "The tower." And he said, "Okay." And he took me there. And he didn't have to go to any other of the stops because there was only one person on the bus besides himself.
Nice. He
Nice.
probably enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just chatted. Yeah, I mean, the whole time I'm just sitting there and we're just chatting back and forth. And it was great, great bus ride. And
That's great.
that was the end of my day. And um, then on Thursday, we we got our way over. This was the last day of our trip, and we went to the Marriott World Center Orlando Resort, and it is an absolutely incredible resort. It is the largest resort Marriott hotel in the world. It is got its own lazy river. It's got a water park, Brenda, with 7 slides.
Cool.
Every room that is on the second floor and higher has a balcony.
Nice.
Um, and every room on the first floor, of course, has its own patio where you can walk out to it. It has 10 restaurants on site,
Goodness.
and we ate at Longitude and Latitude, which is Marriott brand. Um, and I had a crab cake sandwich that I ate some of the bread, but not a whole lot. But I really ate the crab cake, and the crab cake was probably about 4-inch diameter and about 2 inches thick. and it was all crab, and it felt like there was no filler whatsoever. Um,
Nice.
and it was really, really good. And it came with fries, and um, and it was a really good lunch. And after lunch, we did our tour, and then after that, it was time to head back. I went back to Coronado because that's where my ride was picking me up, and I had checked my luggage at Bell Services, so it was there waiting for me. Um, Interesting, great um, cast member interaction. I got back to the resort. I had some time before my ride would come because I thought I was going to be later than I was. Um, and I was sitting there. I had gotten my luggage, and all of a sudden I was like, "Where's my jacket?"
Uh-oh.
And I thought, and I had checked out like 6 hours ago,
Oh, wow.
and I thought, because I had looked, I was like, I looked, I went around, I looked through the room, I didn't see anything, nothing I forgot. And then it dawned on me that I had not checked the closet in the room.
Oh.
And I went to a cast member, and her name was Carrie, and she was absolute dream. And I said, Carrie, I was in 410 and I checked out this morning, and I think I forgot my jacket in the room. And
Mm.
she said, your name's Michael Ellis? And I said, yep, because she looked it up on the reservation. And she said, come on over here. Let's make a phone call. Actually, she told me, she said, I'm going to go over and make a phone call, check with the housekeeping on that floor, and check with, see if anything's been found and lost and found. And then you go have a seat and I'll come over and find you. And I said, okay. And so she did that, and I was just kind of hanging out, and I was pretty certain I had forgotten it in the room in the closet. And then I see her walking over, and she's got a bag, and she points at the bag, and she had the biggest grin, and she had gotten my jacket.
Yay.
And her
What?
name was Carrie, and I featured her in my end of stay survey with Disney of excellent service, and it was so exciting. And I gave her a hug, and she hugged me
Aw.
back, and it was so sweet.
Sweet.
Aw.
She was absolutely adorable. She was probably about Sophie's age, and probably they're on the college program, and
Yeah.
it was just really, really neat. It was
Great.
great interaction, just
Wow.
really good cast member. I mean, just doing what they do, right, Brenda?
Yeah.
Making your trip memorable for years to come.
Yep.
That's what our cast members do, and they don't
Mhm.
get enough recognition for it.
That's for
So,
sure.
They definitely don't.
so, and then I went. Um, Finally closing up, I got my ride back to Kissimmee train station, and
Mhm.
I had bid on an upgrade for the seat. I'd actually bid for going down and coming back. Going down, I did not get that upgrade to a roomette, and that's why I stayed in the coach seat. But coming back, I had increased my bid a little bit, and I got the upgrade to the roomette. So coming back, I did have a roomette,
That's
and
good.
the roomettes are further in the back of the train, so you don't hear the whistle as much. The seating gets converted to a bed. Um, Oh, let me show you one more picture. Um, I might have to share it from my phone.
Hmm.
Let's see here. There it is. Let me just do this real quick. Send it. Okay. Okay. There it goes. Let me open this up. There we go. And let me share this. This was my dinner on the Amtrak Silver Star train number 92. Um, Coming home from Kissimmee to back to Raleigh.
Wow.
I had flank steak,
Oh.
flat iron steak, cooked medium with a red wine reduction, mashed potatoes, green beans, baby little carrot balls.
What's
I
the
did
stuff
not
on
eat.
top?
That's French fried onions. I scraped that off
Oh.
because I didn't want that. And it came with roll. It came with a salad. And it was absolutely incredible. And it was so good, Brenda.
Yum.
It was so good. And
Yum.
it was cooked right then when I ordered it. And it was so good. And that's one of the things you get when you upgrade and get the roomette is you get hot meal and they bring it right to you and you just eat it in your room. And breakfast I didn't want a whole lot. I just had cereal, milk, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
they also have like French toast and stuff like that. And I was like, nope, I'm staying away from the French toast.
Had enough of that already. I'm done. Yeah.
But I have had their French toast before on the last year when I was coming home, and it's really good then too. So,
Good.
but anyway, that steak was nothing I expected. It was so much better than I thought it would be, and
That's good.
I was very impressed.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. So that I left Kissimmee in the 6:00. It was a little bit late. Got back about 9:30 on Friday morning, and that was it. My honey Cindy picked me up, and
Yay.
that
I was already at work by that point.
Sophie was at work, and that was the end of my journey, my fam. So
sounds like a great trip.
So that's how it went. So, any questions?
No, you covered it, and we are
really did.
running like upwards of an hour already.
We are over an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good
let's
recap.
Thank you. Let's go on to this day in Disney history for June 19th. But first,
it's time.
It's time.
Y'all know
Brenda
what's
and
up.
I are going to celebrate the true Disney history that happened on June 19th, aren't we, Brenda?
Yes, we are.
So no covering your face, no blushing. Grogu, come on, join in, buddy boy.
Yeah, man.
And it is time to wish Sophie a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We
sing
love you
happy
so much.
birthday.
Aww.
And she is 22 years old.
Oh,
Y'all
my
remember
goodness.
last year? Y'all know what? You guys know.
Yeah.
Y'all know.
Yep. All right, Brenda, let's
Ready?
sing to her. You
All
ready?
right. Ready.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sophie. Happy birthday to
beautiful
you.
you.
Cha-cha-cha.
Grogu,
Happy
you made it better. Grogu made it better. He was conducting you two.
He was conducting.
It was better than last time, I think, trying to stay with each other. It's hard.
It is hard.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, honey.
Oh, thanks.
Happy birthday.
Now on to the real history, okay? Because it's somebody else's birthday and he's far more important than me.
Oh, that's a matter
debatable.
of opinion.
That's debatable.
Well,
Go on,
to me, he's far more important, and I am talking about a Mr. Michael Broggie, a nationally recognized authority on the life and legacy of Walt Disney, and the son of Roger Broggie, Disney's original Imagineer. He was born in California on this day, June 19th, in 1942. At age 12, Michael test drove the miniature Autotopia cars and accompanied Walt Disney in the initial run of Disneyland Railroad steam trains a month before Disneyland opened. Brogie's first job with Disney was in 1960 as an attractions cast member at Disneyland on the Autotopia and Mine Train during summer seasons while attending college. After completing his undergraduate education, he joined the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank as a publicity writer in the motion picture marketing department. Today, he is an author and public speaker who tours the country lecturing on his first-person experiences with Walt and many of the Disney legends. With his wife Sharon, Brogy is also the co-founder and chairman of the Carrollwood Pacific Historical Society and the Carrollwood Foundation, which operates Walt Disney's Carrollwood Barn Museum in Griffith Park.
Nice.
See? Much more important than me.
Debatable. But we have met Michael Brogy. We met him in Raleigh at a train show, and we bought his book. And we have an autograph, and it's somewhere in our house. And
it is somewhere around where I'm sitting.
But we haven't found it. We need to look for it. But
I'll post a picture of it in the Facebook group.
Great history.
And we have been to the Carrollwood Barn Museum in Griffith Park as well, and we rode the train that operates there. So
nice.
we have some connections there. And he was super nice guy. It was really neat to meet him.
He's a very nice guy. We love Mr. Brogy.
Yeah. So excellent history. Yay. Still, I'm going to question if it's better than the history of Sophie.
That's right. But happy birthday, Mr. Brogy, if you're listening.
Yes, happy birthday. And thank you for your book and for all that you've done for Disney through the years.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time to stump the Soph.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's not even trying at this point.
I don't think so either. What's the point?
You're right. Well, this character is another character's best friend and only real companion.
Only real companion.
Best friend and only real companion?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
This character has a very expressive face.
Is it the genie?
No.
No?
That's a good guess, though. This character doesn't use words to communicate, okay? Instead, this character mimes actions, makes noises, and can change color.
Oh!
You know who it is, Brenda?
Pascal!
Yes! You got it, Brenda!
She got it!
Way to go!
I did not! Oh, gosh.
Were you getting ready to say Pascal? See, I thought Pascal with the first clue, but usually I always think it usually disappears. You know what I'm saying? Like with the second clue, I'm like, oh, no, not that. But it never did. It never.
No, I didn't guess it. I was going to need some more time, but you got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job.
That's if anybody's new, this never happens.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Brenda takeover. Just wait till next week.
Yep.
No. I know such a minute amount of information about Disney characters compared to Sophie. It's like crazy.
And yet you still guessed that one, and I did not.
That one.
There you go.
Maybe
Good
I
job.
just can't recognize a chameleon.
You know what? I just think what it is Sophie rubs off on us all, doesn't she, Brenda?
Yeah, but she's just so amazing. I just cannot. I mean, just can't get over her.
Yeah.
I love you too.
Well, that was a great character. I couldn't believe I hadn't done him before.
He's cute.
So I'm glad we did him.
He's cute.
Good job, girls. Good job. And
Thank
now it's time for a little bit of Walt.
Yep.
So
And we were
Brenda,
talking recently about Donald Duck's birthday on June 9th, so this was kind of an ode to him. So it is about him. One of the greatest satisfactions in our work here at the studio is the warm relationship that exists within our cartoon family. Mickey, Pluto, Goofy, and the whole gang have always been a lot of fun to work with. But like many large families, we have a problem child. You're right. It's Donald Duck.
I love that.
Walt Disney. Yep. Love the man.
That's awesome. That's just awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, my friends, that wraps us up for this week. Next week, we are going to attempt to answer the question, what's in your Disney bag?
The universe. My lounge flies carry the universe.
Yes. What do you carry around with you that either A is for when you're at the parks, or B is something that reminds you of the parks that you like to have around with you and maybe just carry around with you? You know, maybe you wear your magic band everywhere all day. Maybe,
Especially
maybe
at the
even-
parks.
No, I mean even outside of the parks. Maybe you have your Apple Watch with Mickey Mouse on it, you know? Maybe something like that. I don't know. But what is in your Disney bag? I don't have a bag necessarily. I do have a backpack, but what's in your Disney bag? That's our feature topic for next week. So think up in your head what's in your bag and let us know what you carry around with you that reminds you of Disney, or is something that you just wait and only use while you're at Disney. Okay? But until then, we hope you have a great week. Celebrate Sophie wherever you are.
Celebrate yourselves.
Just write in our group. Everyone tell Sophie happy birthday.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week. I'm Mike. She's Sophie. That's Brenda. He's Grogu. And we will
See
you
you
on
on
the
the road.
road.
bye, everyone. Oh, it's become my habit now.
Mm.